You're listening to part 2 of a 2-part podcast featuring Cletus and Brandon McCutcheon. If you have not listened to part 1, click on part 1. If you have, then continue on to part 2.
So, 2021, what are you hoping for?
I'm hoping, what am I hoping for? I'm hoping that 2020 wasn't a trailer for 2021. That's what I'm hoping. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's a freaking, the political climate's really touchy. Society in general is being divided once again. There's always something. You throw something at the hive and it starts stirring up, and then everybody goes crazy.
Like a beehive.
One crazy thing is my 26-year-old daughter, her name's Desiree, she decided to join the Navy at 26. She's married with children, got a house, but she just, out of nowhere, said, hey, I need more fulfillment. She needed more fulfillment in her life. And I respect that. And I said, well, I hope the Navy's ready for you, because she's very strong-willed, very healthy, very determined. So I was like, well, I hope they're ready for you. And she's there, and she's graduated top of her class. I don't get to talk to her a whole lot. Thank you.
That was this past year?
Yes, it's like just recently.
Huh.
Yep. That was this year. Yeah, I don't know what inspired her to do something that huge, but whatever it was, it got her to this point, and she's going to make a career out of it, I believe.
Hey.
I think she's going to be, she's in the Navy, but she's going to be an aircraft mechanic or something like that.
Huh.
Because, yeah, they have aircraft, and as we well know, I mean, Navy is big into space, too. That's where you get a lot of your space station recruits, is from the Navy. So, who knows? Maybe she'll end up there. Never know.
That reminds me of that one time I almost went to the Marines. Well, that's a story for another day.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, after I graduated, if I wouldn't have got a job and a girlfriend and a car right away, I probably would have ended up in, I was looking at a couple of different branches, but mainly the Air Force.
Yeah.
And I was almost there, and I just didn't need to. I was like, I got a job, I got a girlfriend, I got a car. Why do I need to go there? So I didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't have any regrets. Your life is your life.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Well, you gotta know that, if you do have regrets, then, you keep on living,
Mm-hmm.
And life is ever changing.
All the time.
So
I'd have to say, change like your socks.
Changing like
Which, by the way, I'm wearing some really cool socks, too. I will say, you want to see them?
Oh, you got on?
Yay!
What socks you got on? Chiefin'.
Yeah, I'm chiefing. I got a bunch of gifts when I was recovering, and I didn't expect any of that, but people like to reach out and give you things that make you feel good and surround yourself with things. And a little place in Massillon, Ohio called Utopian Bazaar. You can find all kinds of neat things there. But the ladies there caught on to my story, and I was a customer there. I'd go there and get some really cool incense and stuff, and maybe the occasional retro T-shirt, because they have a lot of stuff that's older.
Yeah.
And they sent a package to my house, and it had some things, and one of the things was these.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
It's like a zombie with his brain sticking out.
Yeah.
And stripes on it. These socks kind of remind me of something that your drummer would wear.
I think...
He may even have the same ones.
I think John has... He has those exact same color stripes.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's for sure.
He has these stockings that go up to his knees.
I think I seen that at your non-release party.
Yeah, my release party. I just didn't.
Yeah, so John would really appreciate these.
Yeah, those are high.
Yeah.
Those are high socks. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
High as fuck.
I thought they were Invader Zim for a minute.
Oh boy, I've had my experience with him, but it was on a little piece of square.
Yeah, like, you know, going back to that, you know, holiday, everybody takes acid. I think the world will be a better place.
Absolutely. Yep, need to do that at least once and do it the right way. It's become more of a recreational thing rather than a life-changing experience.
Oh, yeah.
Even though some people do take away a little bit of life-changing qualities to every trip, but yeah, I think everybody should, and we wouldn't have no politicians, and we wouldn't have so many different religions, and you know, it's politics and religions are fatal. They kill you.
Well, those are the two biggest money makers.
Yeah, well, that's it. You got to pay, and then you live.
That's funny. Money and corruption go
Funny
hand in
money.
hand.
Yeah, they do.
Well.
Yeah. Deep Thoughts with Davey Squires.
Welcome to Deep Thoughts with Davey Squires. I'm your host, Davey Squires. Today on the show, we're going to talk about Brandon McCutcheon. There he is.
Hi there.
In the flesh.
What's happening, fellas?
Oh, yeah, he's throwing it down. He's slapping down some paint on that.
You know, I just want to tell you guys, I've always appreciated the unity that I've experienced with the music scene and meeting you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, that's something I always, you know, it's something I really try to bring together with people in my life.
Hell yeah, I hear that loud and clear.
And I do social work and help people with various problems and mental illnesses and addictions and things. And, you know, it's changed my life to be there for people in that way and try to help them in their daily lives. You know, so the music scene has always been a release for me.
Hell yeah.
You know, which I started painting about 8 years ago. So, and then couple years after that, I met somebody in Canton, actually at one of the galleries down there.
Oh yeah.
Bex Moss. She asked me if I wanted to come paint at a show months later.
Nice.
And I ended up painting with Vibe and Direct. That was the first show.
Yeah.
First show I did.
I've been thinking about them guys lately.
Yeah, and I did the show with Bex and some other. Oh, Beachland Ballroom, actually. It was the Vibe and Color event.
Nice.
I think the first one. And it was me and 10 other painters.
Oh, yes.
And that was my first experience, was with, well, mostly painters. One guy had Sharpies, and he was doing koi fish with Sharpies while he's dancing. Yeah. And he's way on the side, so you're like, how could he even see that, you know, what he's doing? But he'd probably been doing it a long time, too.
Yeah.
But you know, the art and the free flowing to the art, to the music, to the, you know, there's such a power in that. You know, when you're on stage, you know, and I'm watching you guys, you know, and other bands, and that music is flowing and you feel it.
Oh, definitely.
You know, because, you know, I quit drinking and partying because I had to many years ago. And for me, there's such a spirit to it that just by opening up to the music and the art and letting it flow, like this lion, I didn't know how I was going to do this lion. Yeah. And it just kind of started going. I didn't know I was even going to shade it the way I did, and I just had no idea. I watched one little video, YouTube, of a guy doing one just to kind of get a semi-idea, and then that's kind of how I picked the colors, similar to what he had.
That's the Lion King.
And then decided, you know, I just started using my blending style with the lion. And, you know, I get to do that with my nieces and nephews. I go to parks and with friends and nieces, and we paint at the park, you know, and just let it roll, you know, and it's cool to see people doing stuff like that out and about. And I think like what you were saying, there's a lot of division that those type of things bring people together. Yeah. And music has always done that, I think, a lot too.
Yeah, it definitely is a universal language, and art is too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they say, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and it's true.
Well, it's definitely a cool thing when you're playing music, watching the painter and see how he or she feels at that moment in painting. Yeah, how
there's
they
motivation
feel.
There.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, like the genre of music, what kind of traits and color bring
what will
out.
be pulled out. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I've appreciated too is fans of yours and band members have gotten my artwork as well, you know, at the shows I've done with you guys too. So that's always been an appreciation, because a lot of times artists don't always support other artists, you know, and I think it's important as an artist. I call it artist karma to get people's merch or get their CDs, get their whatever. You know, like when I saw you at the coffee shop, you know, I said, you know what, let me go over there, let me surprise him, you know, and show up and do that. You know?
And I have to say, when that happens, when you, like you said, surprise, that means so much to a musician, because like I said before, how many times have we played to bar stools and tables, or less, and then when somebody comes out of the blue, maybe in a snowstorm or even rain or even a beautiful day, and just shows up, and you're just like, wow, and that just inspires that musician too. So now you're both feeding off each other.
Oh yeah. Because as a painter, sometimes you're sitting there and like nobody comes. Some nights, like nobody comes up to you, and you're feeling like, you know, you're you're in oblivion somewhere. And then sometimes out of the blue, somebody will. But other nights, you know, are like those nights when nobody's there. I've been at the Empire one night, and there's 5 bands, me, another painter, and the staff, and 2 people walked in out the door. It was a Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight, I think, night.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like just nobody, man. But what's cool is I see the bands still supporting each other in most cases. You know, I know there's dramas and stuff in the scenes and this and that, but a lot of nights,
no drama.
I see a lot of the people supporting each other at least, and kind of caring, you know, watching their set even, you know, and supporting, because it's important, man, because I respect what you guys do, because some of you have regular jobs, you're gigging, you know, starting maybe one night. We didn't start till with the band, we got on at like 1:30 in the morning and just played like 3 songs, and I painted on stage, but I sold a painting too, so that was cool. But my boys in Coup de Grace, they did a show out in Kent at Euro Gyro.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's just like I was sitting there painting for a while, and it was a 7-band, 8-band thing for a fundraiser.
That sounds like Euro Gyro.
Yeah, it does.
And yeah, I saw Vibe and Direct play on the roof one night too. That was super cool. I wasn't painting that night.
The roof or the deck?
There's a roof.
Oh wow.
And they were on the roof up top, during sunset.
Oh, nice.
You know, so they were jamming out, and people were dancing up there, and it's sunset. And
what's the deal with Kent Stage? Are they opening their doors yet, or no? Anybody heard?
I'm not sure. I think they're still. I know they've done a couple live streams there. I know a couple organizations that have done live streams there. I'm not sure about like live shows in person, but
I got to paint there. I did 7 paintings one night up there.
Ooh.
7 paintings, like just was in one of those.
Wow,
5
you're an
were
animal.
5 were original, and then 2 I'd picked out of my.
He was slinging paint like Edward Scissorhands trims bushes.
2 I just pulled out and added to, and you know, because sometimes something won't feel done. All of a sudden, I've had it sitting there for months, and then, boom.
Right.
Like one time, I had a green and yellow, and I got this idea to throw orange on there, make it look like a.
Do you have like schemes in mind, like before you start painting, or you just?
No, almost never. Sometimes before the music or something, I'll just kind of look at my paint colors, and grab some colors,
see what speaks to them.
Yeah, and start.
I have one of your paintings, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yep, it's in my gallery, and we have quite a gallery, and that's thanks to the painters like Brandon and others like him, male and female alike. We have Stimpy's Revenge alone. I mean, we don't have our like personal painter or nothing, but so many artists have stepped up, and we have amazing paintings. I probably have a dozen of them, and they're all different, but they're all alien related. You know,
I got about half a dozen now. Like,
do you?
Yeah, a lot of.
I'd like to see your gallery.
A lot of. I have one of Brandon's too. I've got.
Yeah. You got Hope.
Yeah.
From the Porch Rocker.
Yeah.
What a great time that. You were asking me some of my local venues. I don't know if that constitutes as a venue, but Porch Rocker, wow.
Amazing festival. Like,
what an experience. Not just the fact that we got to play and entertain so many good people and got new fans, but then after we were done, we could walk around virtually just right across the street and enjoy a band ourselves, and then we were kicking it with other friends and musicians, just having a good old time.
It's really sad for me because this is the first time in 4 years I didn't play there.
Me too. First time I didn't paint, and I did five different bands in 3 years. Coup de grace every time for 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Them's his boys.
And then you guys, and then the one year was only Coup de grace, and the other one was another band. I can't think of them right now, but just, you know, the power of that. I was sitting, you know, posted up on that porch while you guys were playing and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it turns out it was a friend of mine that I've known for years. I didn't know they lived there and stuff, and then somebody goes, "Oh, that's such and such's house." I'm like, "No way!" So we ended up painting at somebody's house that I knew.
That's cool.
So it was kind of cool.
Huh? You said you've been painting for
About 8 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. This summer would be 9. It was just something came out of the blue. I painted with a friend one night. And then some months later, I went to a sober club, and they supplied all the paint, markers, chalks.
Wow.
There had to have been 60 people doing artwork, and they supplied it all. Nobody paid anything at the door. I still to this day don't know exactly how they got it all, but I painted there one night. And then I went to Target one time, and I got a little starter kit, 6 little tubes, 2 brushes, and a color wheel. And I did one little painting of a little house and a little black dot kitty cat. And, and I'm glad I didn't judge it. You know what I mean? Because most of my life I've judged things, and if I wasn't great at it, I wouldn't do it sometimes, you know, earlier in my life especially. But I didn't judge it. I just enjoyed the process, and I did it. And I had no idea it was going to turn into what it's turned into, you know. Because art has become a big part of my life, and I've inspired friends to start painting again. One guy used to paint with his grandma when he was 10, and he hadn't painted in many, many years, and he brought his boys over to paint with me one time. He did too. Oh. And then for Father's Day, they got him paints, and now he's done quite a few paintings on his own, you know, got the oils and the easels, and that's
a good story.
Got a lot of cool stuff, you know. And I got to paint with my nieces and nephews at Emerald Lake in British Columbia, Yoho National Park.
Yeah, I think I followed some of that on your page.
Yeah, Emerald, you know, and I'm sitting there.
I want to go to BC.
We're sitting there on logs, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting in the grass looking at the lake, man.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing those photos now. I'm glad you actually chronicled that on social media so you could share that with people.
Yeah. And that's what I think, you know, you can use that just like anything else in life. You can use it to connect with people and lift people up, or you can use it to divide, and you can use it for just like regular life. You know, we can live that, or we can try to lift each other up. I mean, we get to decide, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's what I've learned as I got older, because I was a young, dumb knucklehead.
Well, I realize that the world is full of setups and sharp edges, and we don't have to fall into those traps.
No,
you don't. We don't have to carry, you know, the corruption and the negativity of the world on our shoulders. We really don't.
No, you don't.
It's your choice. You don't have to live that life. You can live aside from it. It's not really turning your back on society. It's just that's a part of society you don't want to live. You don't want that in your life. It's not productive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like anything else. I mean, technology in general, you can either use it to save lives or ruin lives.
Yeah. You know? And we see it almost on a daily basis. I'm just, I'm thankful for what I've got, you know, my friends, my family, my health. You know, I'm still here for some reason. I was really prepared. I was preparing myself in every way to check out. You know, I just turned 50 a few weeks ago. I am 50 light years old.
Astronomical units.
Yes. Sigma, Theta, Pi. But, yeah, I'm still here, and I think I still have to do good things. Keep making that soup to share with everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Just keep connecting those dots and see what happens, because, you know, we all have really a relatively short time here. I mean, our whole existence is just a blip.
Yeah,
but
that's what we're talking
something.
about.
It does mean something. People always say, oh, I'm insignificant. I'm just dust in the wind. You are dust. You're stardust, and you're part of this entire universe. which is big, so that makes you big.
In the cosmic wind.
Yep. I break some cosmic wind every now and then.
You know, there's a hurricane on Jupiter that's been there for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, it just won't quit.
Yeah.
Don't take a break.
And it's like 2,000 miles an hour. Like,
yeah. I can't keep my hat on at those,
at those
speeds.
I can't keep my face on.
Yeah. I have a hard time keeping my face on. Hey, that's too soon. My face was peeled off once. So, yeah, I carry the scar around. And it's not that bad. It's kind of gave me a little bit more character, I guess you could say. And, yeah, I'm rolling with it. I can still see out of that eyeball. So that's good.
Hey. Oh, Bobby! Whoa, whoa, whoa! So I know you guys talked about it earlier, but I don't think we got it on a microphone. How'd you guys meet?
How did me and Brandon meet?
I think it might have been at the Empire.
Through the scene, that was for sure. It was definitely in the music scene.
I think it might have been there it was either Akron or Kent. I know that. I'm almost positive, but I think you played at the Empire one night when I was painting
It's hard for me to put my
Drunken Sunday. I think it was a Drunken Sunday and some other band show.
Okay,
I believe so.
I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was the
Dynamo
Stone.
Love. I think Dynamo Love. Meg might have been playing there too from up in Cleveland. Meg and the Magnetosphere might have been. But anyway, that's how I remember. And you guys made an impression on me that night. And then I saw you not long after that at another show, maybe Kent. And I actually was there St. Patrick's Day in Kent at the show. I had my little leprechaun. I got a stuffed leprechaun that I've had 20-some years, and I had him dancing.
I remember that.
And I took that picture of the laser lights.
Stone Tavern? Yeah. Okay.
There was laser lights going, and it was Tim's first show with you guys, or second, I think. And I took the picture of him kind of in the fog light, playing the sax and stuff.
Oh yeah. In fact, that picture is it's come back on my memories and stuff, and I've had to reshare that because it's such a great. It just speaks to so many people, and Tim loves it too. And
that was my first hobby when I got sober, was taking pictures. Because you were talking about wanting to check out. I was sitting on a bridge my last night drinking, and when I first got sober in that first month, I got a camera out and was kind of looking at life. You know what I mean? And now I call it high def. I sometimes see life in high definition. That was long before that term came out, but I started seeing it, really seeing the world and seeing things and paying attention to nature. And I think that's what led me to painting too. I started with photography and writing, and then it morphed into painting more so than.
Well, I'm glad it did, man, because you've been definitely inspiring people all over.
I love the colors you used.
Thank you. I don't know, something about blending. It's something that I started doing, is blending colors, and just sometimes I'll put 2 or 3 colors, as you see, there's often 2 or 3 on the brush, and then some of the under will bleed out into while I'm pushing down. Like you said, I like making the layers. I like giving it that depth feel, almost 3D, like it's coming out.
It's like the colors go into each other and create new colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, colors you don't even know. You don't know exactly how it's going to come.
Well, that's kind of like the same thing with music too. When you blend different musicians who like different genres, you never know what's going to come out.
I know, it's usually always awesome too.
Yeah.
Well, I still buy CDs too, and I went to Time Traveler, and I got jazz and reggae and rock, different, all kinds of different, and one's like experimental rock, is a band called Nectar that I never heard of, but I asked the guy about it, because I looked at the cover art, and I said, what about this band? They said, yeah, I think you'll dig that, check that out. So I ended up buying it without even hearing their music, you know what I mean? And it was the year I was born, 1973, so I was like, let's try it.
Yeah, usually 70s experimental rock is
and they were from Europe too.
Oh, okay.
I guess the band's from Germany, I think they said. But yeah, I'm into trying. I want to try new things, even if they're old things. Mm-hmm. Just that, whether it's art, music, whatever. I get tired of eating the same stuff. So, you know, I try new things. Like I had butternut squash ravioli, you know, and it was super good.
Can we say butternut on radio?
I'm not sure if the butternut's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
We're going to bleep that out. It's going to be like, beep.
Yeah. Well, it's true. You are what you eat. So if you want to be a zucchini, eat zucchini.
Absolutely.
Butternut squash.
You want squash, eat squash.
That's a hit right there.
I like a spicy stuff, too.
That's a hit single.
On the next Davey Squires album.
Butternut squash. Oh, shit. That's secret. That's for...
You let it out. You let it out. Oh.
Yeah!
That's a triple shot of French vanilla right there.
Yeah, I got 225 milligrams of caffeine in this one. Yeah! So I got one more question for each of you.
Okay.
And this is cool because you guys are in your own art form here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go to Brandon first.
Okay.
For anybody just starting out painting wise, what do you say to them? What are some tips you would give them?
Well, I would say just don't be afraid to paint, to just start doing it. You know what I mean? Don't try to be perfect with it. And I tell people that all the time because I know some artists that have to be perfect. They can't finish something because they just feel like it's got to be perfect. And I think for me that would ruin the art experience. And also, don't be afraid to share. You know, don't be afraid to share it with people because that's really how this has grown for me, is by sharing it. I'll pick up my phone, hey, check this out, you know, just to share, you know. And it also creates opportunities for me, but also often creates opportunity to create with other people or meet bands and stuff, you know, because by telling people, oh, yeah, I paint in a band, why don't you come out? And that's happened a few times just by sharing that in a non-music venue or somewhere just out and about. Oh, I paint, you know, just talk about it and share it. And, you know, it's just a powerful experience to be able to do that with people, sharing art in different art forms. Like, you know, I just never had the patience. I bought a couple music instruments, but I never really did anything with it. I bought a harmonica and a guitar, and I played around a little bit, but it just, you know, it just takes a lot, you know, and a lot of guidance sometimes to some degree. But I've mostly been self-taught just doing this. I took classes for about 1.5 years and just kind of learned on my own and checked out videos and this and that, but mostly just letting it's mostly feeling. It's emotion. So, you know, I love sharing it with people. That's one of the great gifts that art has given me, is the ability to share it and then inspire people and be inspired. So
it's definitely a cool way to express, you know.
Absolutely. Open a lot of doors too, you know, just by sharing it passionately. Yeah. You know, I think that's the important part too, is if you're really drawn to it. I think more of us should create. I think a lot of times, especially as adults, and you get busy and you got jobs and this and that and the other, and we squelch that, you know. We get caught up in what society thinks we should do sometimes, and I think we should get back to caring a little more about the arts and expressing art. And there's so many art forms. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. Not just painting. There's so much.
Davey's doing expressional dance lately.
Yeah, some interpretive dance.
Yeah. I did that at a work holiday party one time. Somebody was singing karaoke, and I broke into and it was, I share that video all the time, and it cracks me up to watch it and share it and watch people laugh, because I started doing like where you spin like I was on ice skates, but I wasn't. I was on the dance floor, and I would twirl and even fell to the floor.
Oh, he's falling to the floor.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm taking a dance class this semester.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's my last semester. I need another fine arts credit. So
there you go.
Imagine that. I needed another fine arts credit.
Just what you need.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just what you need. Can't I just graduate?
Yeah, please.
Just hand me the piece of paper, you know?
Please.
Certificate, please.
Please, I'm tired of paying you people.
Please.
What would I say to anybody Just starting?
Yeah, just starting out.
Well, first, when you find what you're, like, say, music you're talking about, when you find that instrument that really speaks to you, I've said it 100 times, don't give up, because it's just like with anything, you get frustrated and you get to that point where I'm going to give up. But that's that point where you got to say, no, I'm not going to give up. And keep your options open. Like Brandon said, share yourself. Get out there and meet people. If you really want to play music and see what it's really all about, aside from just reading it on a sheet music, get out there with people. Make that connection. Don't be afraid. Because we are our own worst critics. Let's face it, when we're in the studio and we're trying to record songs, and it's just, you got to know when to say when. So don't beat yourself up too much. Keep practicing. And if it's really something that's for you, it'll be natural. You got to let those natural things happen. Don't fight the natural order of things, even when it comes to music. Don't fight it. Sometimes the best things happen by accident, it seems. And then you realize it and like, oh, that's good. Music really touches people, much like art does. And I know it helped me heal. And it heals other people. So, yeah, just don't give up. Keep practicing. Don't be afraid. Don't fail to come together. You really need to reach out to other people. And that's what brought me together with so many people. You know, I wasn't afraid to reach out and to let people in. So do that. Don't think you have to do anything alone, because you don't. There's so many people here ready to help you. And strangers are just people, friends you haven't met yet. So don't be afraid, because we're all the same. We all want the same thing. We all want Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hey, love that chicken from Popeye.
Or Popeyes. You know, keep it clean.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Yep.
Well, I think that's it for this week's episode.
It was really an honor to be here, especially in the midst of you guys, too. It was a great idea to bring Brandon up in here.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. This was really cool, man. I didn't know what to expect, but it was really awesome.
Me either. This was fun.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
Always have a good time, and I hope to be back here at Area 67 recording studio for, who knows, maybe do some recording sometime. But definitely would like to be back as a guest and share the day with your listeners.
Oh yeah. Is there a place where the listening audience can find you guys' projects?
McCutcheon Visions on Facebook is where you can see my artwork and where I share what's going on. I also have a community art group on Facebook where I post get-togethers with people and artwork, especially once the weather gets good. We'll be back in the spring. I used to have an indoor place for it, but now I just primarily do it outside. But I try to bring people together to do community art group on Facebook.
Isn't it cool doing your art outside?
Oh yeah.
And I know as a musician, doing these outside venues or little amphitheaters or whatever it may be, outside, just being under the sky and exposed to the elements, it does something to you. It really helps.
Especially when you're doing it with other people. Like I've had up to like 11 people or so outside with me painting at a park, you know.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's just really, it's a really beautiful experience.
Cool time.
I wish I had enough time to thank everybody that has inspired me, especially in this last year. And I'm talking people that are painters, artists, fire spinners, musicians, solo and bands. Don't have enough time to run through them all, but I hope they all know who they are. And a big shout out to Ruthie Land and Matt and Ruthie. Yes, Davey Squires wearing the t-shirt.
Hooty hoo!
And to all Stimpy's Revenge and all its constituents that have been, that are, and will be in the future. Just love all you guys, and peace and love to all in the universe.
Absolutely.
And to find me, you asked me where you can find me? I'm Cletus. You know where to find me. You know what I'm doing. If you really want to know what I'm doing,
He'll be on the mothership.
Yeah, just look around. Now you're bringing up a sad story. He's called the Mothership. Mothership was what we toured in and the band enjoyed and it provided. But I had to let the Mothership go because when COVID hit, all the venues, all the shows stopped, and I couldn't afford to keep it no more. So, but I will say this: it was fans that bought the Mothership. They bought it, and they don't live that far from me, from home base, and so they bought it really for what it was. They didn't need an RV, but it was the Mothership. It has a lot of history, and it runs good. So I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Thanks to the guys in the studio. This is very cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool experience.
Big props to Mike and Mike in Area 67. Oh yeah.
Big props.
Big props.
Well,
big
hey,
love.
you
and
can
and to Davey Squires. Let's give it up. Come on.
Hey, you can find me with a velvet jacket on.
Yeah.
Wherever you see a velvet jacket, it's probably me.
Approach him with caution when he's wearing the.
I may or may not have a knife.
Yeah, he carries a butter knife.
Yeah, I carry.
He's ready to butter you up at any time.
I carry my cleavers.
You gotta get the velvet pants though. Without the pants,
Oh
man, you're not all the way there.
I gotta get. Well, I need to first buy some yellow skinny jeans for next year.
Oh yes, for graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Davey. This was awesome.
Thank you guys for coming on. And everybody can find me on Instagram at Davey_Squires and on Facebook, Davey Squires Music. You can also check out the Patreon page for the Squires Station. Just $5 a month can get you extra episode bloopers, as well as the extra artist videos that are not seen by the public.
Unseen material.
Exactly. So that's just $5 on Patreon. Patreon.com/Davey Squires. And you can also check me out at dsquires.com for all the past episodes of the Squires Station. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you, Davey.
Thank you.
Been a good time.
Hell yeah. Peace.
We'll see you on the next episode.